Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. Oh boy. It's the fourth SpongeBob movie in total, even though it's not an actual sequel to the first three movies. It is just a spin-off. And it tells the story of Sandy Cheeks and SpongeBob as they go up to Sandy's home state of Texas to save Bikini Bottom from an evil CEO. Okay, so, before I talk about this movie, let's talk about what I thought about the first three. I love the first two movies. I love them. They're great. And the third one's okay. I loved it when I first saw it, but then upon rewatch, the third one doesn't hold up as much as the first two do. But I think it's an okay movie. I like it just fine, even though a lot of people don't. I do not have the popular opinion on the third one. And now, let's get to Saving Bikini Bottom. I do have a couple of positives with this movie. One, the voice acting is still good. Everybody still gives a good voice performance as usual. I mean, they've been playing these characters for over 20 fucking years, so yeah, of course they'd be good. They're at their A game here, so I really like that. And also, there are a couple of, chuckle-worthy scenes, and the movie does move by quick, so there's that. The movie is short, but it also moves by pretty reasonably fast. Other than that, I did not like this movie at all. I really did not like it. This movie's not funny. It's kind of obnoxious, which is saying something to me because I am a fan of SpongeBob. Yes, I am in agreement that there was a dark age of the show. And, those first three seasons are absolutely fantastic. And I love the first two movies. I even found some enjoyment in the third one, but I'm sorry, this movie was kind of bad. What makes this movie so bad? This movie's not funny. I almost never laughed. I only chuckled maybe a couple of times. Also, the animation in this movie is not good. You could definitely tell that, because I know Paramount had some involvement in this movie, and they were probably saving their resources for the actual fourth SpongeBob movie that's supposed to be coming out next year. But man, did they cut corners on the animation. There's an opening musical number in this movie. And when you get a front view of all of the Bikini Bottom citizens walking right towards the camera as they're singing, the movements on them is so awkward and so bad, you can't help but notice it. I'm like, how much did this fucking movie cost? But also, not only is the animation, in Bikini Bottom, pretty mediocre, it gets worse when they're actually on land. The rendering of the animation in the live action environment is not convincing. You don't buy that they're actually on land like you did in the fucking you bought it more in the first movie, which came out 20 fucking years ago, and their animation style never changed. They were still in their 2D animated form. That looked way better than this, and then Sponge Out of Water. The CGI on them was so good. They blended in so well with that live action environment. How come they couldn't do that with this movie? I guess they were cutting corners on the budget. That's my only explanation. Even in the third movie, during that one segment where they're dreaming and they're in that old west town, that shit looked significantly better than what any of the live action and animation hybrid stuff in this movie did. And that takes up most of this movie. And yeah, I didn't really like Sandy's family either. I thought the dynamic was kind of ass. And fuck, you even got some voice talent in there like Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville plays one of them, and even he couldn't do anything to save it. And I love Johnny Knoxville. I'm a huge fan of his. Usually I can even find something good to say about him when he's in something bad, but not here. And also the story isn't that great. Yes, it's not the typical, there's something involved in the Krabby Patty formula, like all of the first three movies involved. But, man, this isn't a very good substitute. A CEO kidnaps Bikini Bottom. Okay. It's not particularly interesting, but whatever. If a kid likes it, that's cool. I don't know what kids think of this movie because I watched this movie by myself. I didn't watch it with any kids. So really, I don't know, and I don't know any kids that have watched this movie. But yeah, overall, I am not a fan of Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. It's not funny, it's not interesting. The animation is really half-assed. As a SpongeBob fan, I'm very disappointed in it. But what did I expect from a movie that was just shot out on Netflix? Yeah, just even if you're a SpongeBob fan, just skip this one. I am going to give Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, a D plus.